This is my co-host, Mary,
Mary Brotherton.
and we are live at Captain Hiram's in Sebastian, Florida. We decided that we would do a remote, and since Captain Hiram's is in betwixt and between, this is where we always meet up. Today, we are going to be discussing marketing. And just as a preemptive, because we are at Captain Hiram's, which is on US 1 and right on the water, we want to thank them for allowing us to be here today and to be able to do this remote. If you've never eaten at Captain Hiram's, I highly recommend it. They have condos across the street that they rent out. This place is called Blackfin, but it's also known by the locals here as Captain Hiram's. Their food is delicious. We both just had the barbecue sandwich, the pulled pork, and I ate way too much. I don't know about you. Did you eat too much?
I filled up. Filled up my tank.
So you've got to come and eat here. And if you are visitors to Sebastian, look them up and tell them that Yvonne Mason and Mary Brotherton, it's a good place to come.
And remember, Midnight Publishing.
Exactly. There you go. So today, I don't know how many of you all saw, but I put up a short story book. It only has 2 short stories in it by Andrea Dean Venskoye. It is, one is about a werewolf and the other one is about zombies. It's a very quick read. It's only 79 pages. It goes live on Kindle on August the 11th. It goes live on paperback August the 11th. And as soon as it goes up on Kindle, we will put it on audio. As everyone knows, this is what we do here at Midnight Publishing. No, it didn't go wrong. Go away. There's no issue. Go away.
Technology, folks.
Exactly. At Midnight Publishing, we put up all of our authors on every format possible. If it's too small to go in hard copy, it still goes up on Kindle, audio, and paperback. Because, yes, dear.
I think you should explain what you mean by too small.
They have to be more than 79 pages long before I can put them up in hardcover. With the exception of children's books. Now that is a different
It's a bit different beast.
altogether. And I am proud to say that I just received Mary's zip drive with her book. She is now officially part of Midnight Publishing, and I'm going to get her.
I just dipped my toe in the water because I only gave her 2 books. I gave her My Angel book and Sally's Heart. And a surprise, we're not going to talk about until it's up and ready to run. But my other books will be coming soon because I'm revising them and editing them.
And this is what happens sometimes. We were discussing her books, and she said, Yvonne, I was going to send you this book, but then I thought, I'm not going to send it to her piecemeal because she's already said what she requires, and she is reformatting her book.
Yes.
So it'll have maybe a different cover, the contents will be different,
Different title.
different stories, more stories even.
Lots more stories in my the first book was called Go With Angels. And I was just going to give her that book and let her put it on Facebook, Amazon. But I want to make it better. So I'm not going to do a Go With Angels version 2 or Go With Angels
Edition 3, 4, 5.
whatever. I'm just making a brand new book because I've got so many angel stories, it will boggle your brain.
And that's the beauty of Midnight Publishing. I don't care how many times you revise your book. If I've got one of your books up and you say, Vaughn, I really want to redo this book, we will leave the old book up until you're ready with the new book. Then we take the old book down. And we don't have to take it all down. All we have to do, because we already have the book there, is updated. We update the content, we can update the cover. It's that simple.
The thing with any book publisher, once you get your ISBN, which is International, wait, I said that wrong, ISBN, International Standard Book Number.
There you go.
Takes me a minute. and your barcode, those can't change.
Mm-mm.
And if you're going to make substantial changes to your book, you need a brand new one. Basically a new book. So that's what I'm doing with mine. Instead of giving her, here, just put this old book up, we're going to make it into a brand new book. It's going to be called Faith and Folly.
And there's been some folly that went along with the faith.
Oh, absolutely.
So-
A lot of times I act from faith, and then people look at me and go, that was silly, that was ridiculous, that was dumb, that was an act of folly. So,
And we have to understand that most of us have had those moments in our lives. It doesn't mean that we're idiots or that we're stupid or that we're bad people.
just temporarily insane.
Yeah, and sometimes we just make decisions that we haven't really thought through. My children are a prime example. I'm a prime example. But that being said, we learn from them and we move on. We don't
Yes.
carry them around. And we can teach others by those
Absolutely.
examples. So with that being said, this is what we want to talk about today because it is very important in our world, and that is the world of books. When I do public speaking and talk about people that want to write books or people that have written books, and the first thing I say is, A, how bad do you want to do this? Does it encompass your entire waking and sleeping moments? If that is a yes, then I say, okay, look, writing your book is easy. That is so easy compared to what comes next. And Mary, what comes next?
Marketing your book,
Marketing.
promoting your book, publicizing your book, letting people know about your book.
And you can't be afraid to do that.
You cannot sit back and say, well, I wrote a book. It's not like the show Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. That's only in fantasy world, in Hollywood. Sure, there are a lot of people that we know by name that can write a book, and it doesn't matter if it's even good. Their name is on it. It goes straight to the bestseller list. But I've been doing a lot of research into best-selling books. If that's what it takes to be a bestseller, I will never be a bestseller. Because half of them cannot write well, or they use a formula to write the same basic story over and over. They might change the characters, and sometimes they just change where the character is.
But the plot's the same.
But it's really not the way I like to write. So that's why I'm with Midnight Publishing. And I know that Yvonne knows about marketing.
Oh, yes.
So how many different kinds of marketing can we get into?
Oh, we can go from now until hell freezes over.
Well, hell freezing over might be kind of nice today. It's hot here in Central Florida.
But all right, when I started this journey, almost 20, actually more than that, this goes way back to the 1970s when I literally hand wrote my first book. I still have that manuscript. And like all aspiring writers at that time, I sent it out to different publishers. And every publisher I sent it to,
Nope.
I got a rejection.
Nope.
Because they didn't want to deal with it. It wasn't what they expected, or it wasn't part of their criteria, or it wasn't what their audience wanted. Well, how do you know what your audience wants? You mass produce books. So I moved to Florida, and in 2006, I said, I am taking my dream in my hands. I am taking ownership of my dream. So what I did before I even published the book is I went on every social media site I could find, and that was during the infancy of MySpace.
That was a minute ago.
A hot minute, and MySpace is no more. But the first thing and that was even before Facebook. The first thing I did is I built a MySpace site. I built a website, and I found everybody and their brother that had a blog that I could query. So we published Dreamcatcher, and then right behind it, I published Tangled Minds and Silent Scream.
Oh, I got a question.
Yes, dear.
Why blog? Why did you chase down all these people with blogs?
Because bloggers have an audience, a big audience.
You hadn't figured I asked dumb questions because
She
I know
knows the answer already. But if you seek out these people that have blogs that do interviews, that talk about books, that talk about life, that Dreamcatcher is about my brother that's mentally and physically challenged. That's the audience that I want to reach, is people that have family members or friends that are mentally and physically challenged, and how our family dealt with this challenge, and how Stanley dealt with this challenge, and the successes that he had, because we're all challenged. I live in a right-handed world. But at that point in time, that was the foundation of the marketing. I've been marketing since I was a kid. My father taught me how to market. He had the second highest business number for heating and air in Georgia. This was in 1949, 1950.
So is marketing books different from marketing
No.
heating and air service?
No, same principle. It's a handshake, and oh, by the way, I do this. By the way, I've written this book. Or let's say you're in a crowd of people that they're discussing comedies. Have you written a comedy? Say, oh, by the way, have you read my book?
Mm-hmm.
This is where it can be found.
One of the biggest marketing tools, I think, for any writer is to have a bag with all their books in it.
Yep.
At all times. Because you just never know. Now, I know that you've got 4 dozen, 5 dozen books. And
I've quit counting.
And Jason and I were chatting the other day. He's got 20, but I got 5 so far, and we're moving up the ladder.
She got started late in life.
I did. I'm a late bloomer.
Actually, she got started about the same time, age-wise, that I got started in 2006. Because I was in my 50s. I was still in college.
Yeah.
I hadn't
Well,
even...
the stories in Go With Angel, I had been writing them since I was, I gotta stop and think. The first story was about Matt when he was 2, so I would have been 27, 28 years old.
Yep.
I wrote the stories, I just didn't get them into a book until I was much older, and there are a lot of reasons for that. Mostly, I tend to do like writers do, I procrastinate. And I found other things that were more important. But when I realized that writing is my life, I started publishing.
And ladies and gentlemen, what we're trying to tell you is the big 6 in the publishing business, they have massive amounts of money to promote their authors. The sacrifice those authors make is they have no control over anything. Once that book goes in, they're sent the formula, here, do another one.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have the availability to regenerate their creative juices. And we all have to do that or we get stale. So what we do here, and the reason Mary came to us, other than she loves me, is
That's
because
just part of it.
because I don't mind the marketing. I've done it for so many years. I do it like muscle memory.
It's automatic for her.
Mm-hmm. When I start today, I put up that new book for Andrea called Werewolves and Toxic Rain. Well, as soon as I got it up and got the release date, it boom, boom, boom. It went up on all of the social media, went up on Facebook, went up on my other 2 pages of Facebook, went up on the WordPress site, went up on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. But the other one I can't ever remember. Twitter. It went up everywhere. And what we're getting ready to do is create a video and update all the authors with all their books, and it's going up on YouTube. This show goes up on YouTube. This show goes up on every social media site we have. This is what I do for my authors. And the reason for that is because I want my authors to succeed. I want her to succeed. I want her to write. She needs to write.
Yvonne has always, from the moment I met her, almost 20 years ago,
Yeah.
we were instant buddies. I mean, we met it was one of those, it would make a great old lady lesbian romance.
We're not lesbians.
But literally, our eyes locked across a crowded room, and we knew that we had found a sister, a kindred spirit. There was just something about that moment, kismet, if you want to call it that. But from that moment on, anything that I have endeavored to participate in with Yvonne has been very successful. Not mildly successful, not just a little nice, very successful. And I'm really excited about giving up my control, but I don't have to give up my control.
No.
And the thing is, when I had one woman recently tell me that I was the pro. And I asked her, why do you say that? Because we both started writing, well, she wrote her one, and she says only book. And by that time, I'd already written 5. But her book is in every one of Brevard County's libraries, which is 17, I think we have. And mine's not, but that's okay. We'll deal with the libraries later. My books are in 3 different stores locally, and my novel is on umpteen websites all over the world. But I go to places and I promote myself by saying, would you like me to speak at your event? I'd be happy to come talk to your writers group or your book club. I can come, I can sell books, I'm fortunate. I don't just sell books. I also have paintings that I can sell that are sometimes related to my work and sometimes they're not.
And Mary brought up a very valid point. Just because you've written the book, you're not selling the book.
You're selling yourself.
There you go.
All about networking and relationships. I can't tell you how many people have bought my books because they love me or they know me and they want to know more about what I've written. I tend to write personal memoir type stuff. I say that, but that's not really true, is it?
No.
The Angel books are not memoirs. One is, but
Sally's Heart
is not a memoir. And 2 children's books and a novel.
And let's talk about Sally's Heart for a minute. I don't know how many of y'all listened to the last podcast, but we got on the subject of Sally's Heart. And we got on, and Sally's Heart is about an organ donor who was her cousin. And I said, Mary, think about this. There are children's hospitals all across the country, and they do recipients of organs. Contact them. Because
That's my next on my list.
Whole new mass marketing.
I'm thinking I'll wait till we get the hardback,
We could do that.
and that way it'll be something solid that they can
Hold on to.
hold on to, and it'll also look good in their personal libraries or whatever.
Years ago when I first started this, a cousin of mine out in the Midwest, she's also an author. And I said, we got to talking, and I said, you need to get you a social media page. She said, oh, I don't want my face out there. I said, wait a minute, Dana. Honey, listen to me.
You're in the wrong business.
You are in the wrong business, because if you're not out there, sure, I can put my book out there all day long. But if they don't know something about me, the person, or Mary, the person, they're not going to be curious enough to see what we write about. Anne Rice is a perfect example of someone who put herself, she showed up at an event in a coffin. I love the woman.
That's perfect.
Because she lived in New Orleans. And the thing is, when you are thinking about putting yourself out there, don't be afraid to think, and this is another cliche, outside of the box, because if you are afraid, that box will strangle you. I have an author right now. When I first started this, a friend of mine said, will you publish her book? I said, sure. I said, she's got to help me promote it. Do you know that this woman is not on any social media?
Oh no.
This woman is not interested in marketing her book. And this book is not selling.
And she wonders why.
And I haven't had any contact with her since I sent her the first run of books that she asked for.
You have to you have to put yourself out there, and sometimes it means going outside of your comfort zone, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I go to every single author event, minus one, that's local. And I mean, if they invite me, I might go. I don't
We
care.
can hold our own, you know that.
Oh, honey, I've already told her to be prepared. Yvonne and I are going to do an authors event.
See?
So, I mean, we think alike, and eventually we get together and we share our like-minded thoughts.
When Mary called me one night before Jack died, and she said, I want to run something by you. I said, okay. And she said, I have this dream. I said, okay. And it was to start a magazine, an online magazine, for people that are unique. I said, okay, what's stopping you? I basically said, what's stopping you? And her response was, well, I said, no, there is no try in this business. You're either going to commit or you're not.
You do it or you don't.
And if you don't, both of those things are a decision. You either do it, that's a decision, or you don't, that is also a decision. Trying is like straddling a fence and hoping you don't fall off.
Yoda.
Yes.
There
do or
is
do
no
not.
try.
Do or do not. There is no try. Exactly.
She's not much bigger than Yoda either.
But the thing is, we talked for, I know, at least 3 hours. And put together a plan for this magazine to take off. She had Jennifer East, who we both loved dearly. She had me, and she had herself. And in 7 years' time,
7 years I was doing that.
this magazine is all over the world. She has writers from all over the world. All over the world. After 7 years, she decided it was time for her to do the other dream.
It was time for Mary to do Mary.
Exactly. So she turned it over to
And that's
the
something
newbies.
that I've done, and I think a lot of writers do. We say we want to write, but then we find a jillion excuses not to. Oh, well, I just started this nonprofit. Oh, well, I just started a new job. Oh, my child just graduated college, and I need to help him get set up in his new...
I got a demo in my house.
There's something. There's always something to stop us. In fact, I have a book I'm working on about excuses.
There you go.
A story full of excuses. But if it is something that is eating at your very soul to be a writer, there's nothing that can stop you. There's absolutely nothing that will stop you if you want to do something
You'll do it.
or if you don't want to.
One.
But you have to make a choice and stop telling people I'm gonna.
Yeah, that, no.
I knew somebody once who kept saying he was going to join the Air Force. And he kept getting older and older and older. And finally somebody said, well, what's the age limit on joining the Air Force? And he said, oh, I don't know. I'll have to go check it out.
You
Next-
never joined the Air Force.
You never joined the Air Force because he waited too long.
And that's another thing. In this industry, you're never too old.
No.
I have another friend, also an author, and we published her first book 3 years ago. And she's written all of her life, but she was always afraid to put herself out there. And I said, no, honey, what good is your writings if you don't put it out there? Now, in marketing, is everything for everybody? No, it is not.
No.
It is not.
And I will tell you that once you get your first book out there, you're going to start getting emails from these.
Haters gonna hate.
Well, no, I'm trying not to call them scammers. People who will say, oh, give me the link to your book. I see you're an author. You think, oh, yes, I'm going to send them the link to my book. Then they come back within half an hour or less. Oh, I see you don't have very many reviews on Amazon. I can help you for a fee.
For a fee.
Or they'll say, well, I don't see where you've got a cinematic video.
I can help you.
I can help you for a fee. So it doesn't matter whatever you're missing in life, there's always somebody out there who will help you do it
For a fee.
for a fee.
And yes, talent and time can be money. However, with indie authors, we don't have unlimited pockets.
Nobody has paid any of us even as little as $10,000. I know that might sound like small, but some authors get six figures
Right.
for a book, and then they also are selling their soul at that point. They have to. Usually, today's publishers, they don't want just here's $100,000. Thank you for the book. We're just going to make you a bestseller. It's okay. Here's $100,000. Now you have to attend this and this and this. We need you here and here and here. You need to fly. Hope you got good frequent flyer miles. You're going to have to go speak at this event. And oh, by the way, we want 3 more books out of you within the next 3 years.
Some sooner than that.
I know.
So you see, what we do here at Midnight Publishing, we don't put time limits on when we expect the book. When you get me the book, you get me the book. Because I'm still writing as well as publishing your books and marketing your books. I just put out one that's going to go live on Friday. But I understand the mechanics of authors. I understand the mechanics of marketing. And this is what we do. We know how to market. We know how to manage our time,
Yeah.
to make that marketing work. First thing I do in the mornings when I sit down at my computer, I go to Amazon to see how many books are sold, what's been sold, what I can expect from my authors that's coming down the pipe, because we always get paid a month late. We just got paid for May, and it's the end of July, so
Yep.
they're always running a month or 2 months behind, so you got to go back and figure out A plus B equals C. But what I do, after I do that, then I go into my bookshelf, see what's coming out, when it's coming out, make notes, see what else I've got to put up in hard copy or on Kindle. Then I go to the Midnight Publishing page and I start throwing that stuff out there. Just like this morning. I go to all of the social media sites. I go to the webpage. Oh, by the way, speaking of the webpage, right now in the United States alone, 415 views just in the United States.
Oh my gosh.
And we've only been up 6 weeks. When I did Blog Talk Radio, I ran it for 7-8 years until they went defunct. By the time they went defunct, we were all over the world. We had 500,000 listeners all over the world. So I know we can do it with this.
And you know, for a minute, when Blog Talk Radio went belly up, most of the podcasters were like, oh, woe is me, what do I do? But we've all found a channel.
Yep.
We've all found a place to go. Or we've decided, you know what, this isn't for me. I needed a few minutes where I wasn't doing anything like that so that I could let my brain rest. Because this is important, folks. When you're a writer, you spend so much time right here, right in here.
It gets crowded too.
And in here, sometimes in your heart. But you know, especially I think if you're a fiction writer,
Oh yeah.
you know, you've got all these voices.
Mine won't shut up.
I know.
The queens just will not shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've got to give yourself some downtime. Because think about it. As a writer, you are a creator. And creativity takes up a lot of bandwidth. But don't wallow in it and say, oh, I'm giving my brain a break. You work until you can't work anymore, and then you give yourself a break. Go do something. I don't care. Take a walk, take a nap, and don't come to me and tell me you've got writer's block, because I don't believe it. It doesn't exist. It's an excuse.
It's an overload.
If you are unable to write, then stop writing. Do something different, and when you come back to your computer, you're going to be gung-ho to write again.
And that goes along with the marketing. I hear people say, well, I market, but it doesn't do any good. There's an old saying that Rome was not built in a day, but it sure as hell burnt in a day. So don't be your own worst enemy. Andrea Dean Van Scoik is also one of our authors. She's been with me since 2006. That's how far back we go. she also knows how to market. She puts herself out there in different little niches. And yes, she went away for a while because she needed to regenerate.
Yeah.
But now she's back, and she's back with a vengeance. Sherry Richardson. God love that woman.
She's the cocoa woman, right?
She's the cocoa bean woman. She had a book that was 25 years in the making. And she had been rejected badly by friends, by relatives, by just about everybody in her little town. Been laughed at, been put down. And when we started this journey, she asked me if I would look at her book. She didn't say, will you publish it? She said, will you look at my book? I said, send it to me. I'll publish it. You know what? I said, send me the book. I will publish it. The photo of her when she opened those books and had one of the hard copy books in her hand was worth its weight in gold.
There is nothing like holding your first book for the first time.
Nothing at all.
And it doesn't matter if your first book is actually your fifth book. It's every time you write a new book and you hold it in your hand,
It's still the first book.
it's transformative.
And when you make a book sale in person, it's a natural high
Yes.
because you have vilified yourself. You have said to yourself when you put yourself out there, I'm enough. And when that person picks up that book and looks at that cover and then flips it over and reads the back of it and says, how much? And they hand you the money, that means that you have arrived at the beginning of your journey. But you have to market. You have
And you
to
have to
be
keep
out
doing
there.
it over and over and over and over.
And it gets tiring. Trust me, it gets tiring. But if you cannot take your foot off the gas pedal for a minute, because when you do, then you lose the momentum,
Yes.
you lose the desire and the drive. And we don't want that for you guys.
Because this is a situation when one indie author succeeds, we all succeed.
Exactly. And I came up in the era of, oh, you're self-published. You apparently don't know how to write. Excuse me?
Yeah, I had that.
What?
And that's disheartening too. You don't have to be rejected by publishers. You can be rejected by your peers.
Oh, big time.
You go somewhere and you start talking about, oh, I'm an author. Really? What have you written? Have I seen it? Well, it's The Pink Canary. And, well, I've never heard of that. Well, here's my Amazon link, blah, blah, blah. Sold this much, around the world. Oh, who's your publisher? Well, I am.
What?
No, you're not. No, I'm sorry. You need to be with one of the big publishers to be. I had people tell me that because I was making money writing for a newspaper, but I didn't have a published book yet, I wasn't a real writer.
Oh, the agony of stupidity. and now y'all know why I wrote Murder in the Village, because the village is full of idiots. And since we're on this marketing thing, I am not going to promise you that you will not ever not get a bad review. And there's several, I'm going to say lame excuses for that. Number one, not everything is for everybody. I don't read erotica. I don't write erotica. I won't publish erotica. I will publish romance as long as I can not have to deal with it long. I don't write sci-fi. I don't write fantasy. But there's a market for it. I will publish it all day long. I just don't write it. I write true crime. That is my background, dealing with criminals on a regular basis. So when somebody puts a bad review up on one of my true crime books, I just look at them and laugh and say, apparently you don't know what I had to do to write this book. You don't know what journey I was on. You don't know how much time and money it took to do the interviews, to get the transcripts, to get the case files, to do 4 years worth of research. Is it pretty? Oh no. Mm-mm. My true crimes are not pretty. I will not tell you what kind of dog Susie Q had and how popular she was in high school. That's not the story.
No, because there are two words that make true crime what it is. It's true
And it's
crime. Crime is not pretty. I don't care how glamorous they make it seem on television.
pretty. It's not
It's
pretty.
not pretty.
So when I market true crime, I don't market it pretty because that would be a lie. You market your book based on the content of the book. Mary's son, he writes, he's working on a book that's
It's what he calls lit RPG. I'm not sure. I think literary is what the lit is. Role-playing game.
there you go.
He wrote a novel several years ago, which I thought was fabulous. I was ready to print it for him. But he tried to submit it the traditional way, and it got shot down the traditional way, and he went into a deep, dark hole. As a result of that, he just stopped writing. Kept reading, but stopped writing. And now he's ready to go back to writing, and he's showing me what he's doing, and it's so much better than the first time. So you sometimes need to write a book and then realize, no, this is not the book that I want, but it's the best I can do right now. And yeah, he could have self-published it 8 years, 10 years ago, but he didn't. So now he's got that as a basis. He's creating his new. It kind of lingers on fantasy and sci-fi, little dystopian. It's one of those books that's really hard to pigeonhole.
Because it's not a pigeonholable book.
And that's why traditional publishing is so difficult to get into.
Because
They
want a
want
box.
they want to put you in a box. They want to make sure that you are a romance writer and nothing else. They want to make sure that you only write true crime and you never deviate into something light and airy. I can't do that. I write too many different genres, and now that I'm working with Yvonne, I'm really excited again because I was kind of feeling like, I've got to stick into this one category,
You know.
and I've just working with Yvonne has freed my time because I can stop pushing myself into a box.
When people ask me what genre do you write, I say pick one. I write
Well-
horror, comedy, true crime, crime fiction,
Our
thrillers.
server today, Hope,
Yes.
what did she say when we first sat down? Where's the third person?
Where's the third person?
And we said, no, there's just the two of us. She said, I'm pretty sure you know why. One of our angels is with us.
There you go. It's one of our angels. Probably Jack.
But, she sensed a third person with us. And I told her, I said, well, that's because our personality is so big, it just takes up extra space. But that's also part of the don't put me in a box.
So the next time somebody says, well, what genre do you write? If you write multiple genres like we do, say, well, what kind of books do you read? And if they say, horror, I got the book for you. Here it is. Go look up this book. In the gay community. Oh boy, have I got some books for you. You've got to be able to allow yourself to be creative and not say, well, I have a comedy in my head, but I don't write comedy. Oh, but you can.
I remember going to a critique group one time when we first started, and after 3 or 4 of my stories, one guy goes, you write chick lit. I'm like, shut your mouth.
Exactly. Bite your tongue.
I do not. He says, yes, you do. And I'm like, well,
Gotta change that.
I came up with a few choice Sunday school words. And I said, well, you know what? If I write chick lit, there's a market for it. I'll continue doing this, but I'm still going to do my own thing too.
There you go. And don't be afraid to get in the deep end of the pool and write something different.
Oh, that's where the magic is, I think.
Oh, yeah. Much. Shady Rest. It was the book that I released before Murder in the Village. Now, I have no idea where this book came from. All I know is if there's 3 new characters of a certain age, some would say that they probably have one foot in the grave and another on a banana peel, that are in this assisted living by choice. They're crime fighters. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how. I don't know, but they're there, and they refuse to be quiet. And guess who else showed up in the book? My drag queens. They are, yeah, they're divas. If you don't know about the drag queens, you have to read The Pink Canary. But the thing is, integrate your characters from different books into your new books. This is
Oh,
what
absolutely.
makes it so much fun.
In fact, I'm writing a sequel to Steep Steps.
Yep.
Because I've had so many people say, what is happening? You stopped the book. I'm like, well, yeah, I had 82,000 words, and it's probably enough to stop.
Have you not read R.R. Martin?
Oh, yes, I have.
He stops at 300,000.
I know. But I wrote my 82,000 words and change, and then I thought I was finished.
No.
But all of my readers are telling me I need to know more. What happened to this girl after, her father was sent away, and what happened to him? Does he ever apologize? Does he ever admit what he did? And like, well, we're going to have to find out.
So, and again, all of this is part of a marketing strategy. Pink Canary started on a journey to Melbourne Airport.
You were on the journey to Melbourne Airport.
I was going to Melbourne Airport to take my friend to a plane. And she started laughing. I said, what are you laughing at? She said, well, I was just texting Scott that I saw a pink canary, but it came out Pink Canary. And all of a sudden this voice said, uh-huh.
There's my book.
So I said, here, Janet, here's my phone. I want you to take dictation. She went, what? I said, don't ask. Just write as I'm throwing this out there, because my protagonist would not shut up.
Yep, they do that.
Lola just was not, she wasn't having it. Well, after the Pink Canary came out, I had collaborated with Andrea on the When Fates Collide book. First little book was 80-something pages. It was a real easy read. Well, lo and behold, the three drag queens said, oh, Yvonne, oh, Yvonne,
Mother, may I?
we're going to New Orleans. I'm going, no, we're not. Oh, yes, we are. So go get your bounty hunter and her little sidekick. We're going. I said, no, we're not. Yes, you are. I couldn't do anything else but write it, because they were driving the train. So when you have a character that is so strong, or several characters that is so strong, or like Mary, you leave people with dangling participles at the end of the book. Integrate your characters. Bring them all together. Number one, it makes your book more marketable. And number two, if Jane Doe has read a book and it's got these certain characters in it, and you write the second book and you say, and the three drag queens are in this book, they're going to go get that book because they won't know what these three drag queens are doing.
Yeah.
So,
have you ever had your characters wake you up?
Oh yeah. And they irritate me when they do that.
I know. But they do.
I was in the shower minding my own business, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to make Murder in the Village go. And this voice said, guess what? I went, no, you're not. Yes, we are. No, you're not. Then you don't get to finish the book. Okay. The drag queens had to come into Murder in the Village because they're three strong characters. Two of them are real people, and I think that is what makes them even stronger
And believable.
because they are real people. They're friends of mine, and they really are in the gay community, and one of them is a professional drag queen. She's been all over the world. She lives in Canada now. The other one, he's just a diva because that's him, and I love him. Because he said he would die in a plane crash, so he would be immortal. Now he's in books, so he doesn't have to die in a plane crash. God, I love you, Peter. But
Oh, it's cute.
all of this is part of the marketing persona. All of this, you have to put all of this in your blender and throw it out there and be willing to say, I'm not afraid to take a leap of faith.
So I got my book.
Yeah?
Why can't I just go buy some ads on Facebook and let that be it?
Oh, hell no.
Well, why not?
Because, number one, it doesn't sell books, and number two, you take away the personal aspect of your marketing. There you go. We are not a faceless name on a book. We are real people with real lives, with real successes and real not so much successes, with real histories, and a piece of us goes into every book we write.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you say, well, I am totally autonomous from my book, no, you're not.
Ooh, I wouldn't want to be.
Me either.
That would be a textbook.
Yeah, I love textbooks, but not when I'm writing for entertainment or
No.
reading for entertainment. Well, I do read textbooks for entertainment. I take that back. Anyway, the thing is, if you are a conscientious writer, you will find things that you say in your everyday life as part of the dialogues in your book. You can't help it. It will be under the character's voice, but you can't help it. That's also part of the marketing. If you will notice, when movie houses and the people, Hollywood makes their movies, they have what's called a catchphrase. That is their tagline.
Yep.
That is what draws that reader in.
It's basically a hashtag.
Yeah. Any commercial you see on TV, the Reese's commercial.
Oh, go on.
What's going to be here?
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to continue on or not.
Well, we'll keep recording.
We'll keep recording,
There
see
we
what
are.
happens.
There
Okay,
we are.
good.
We're back up. There's going to be a dead space. But everything that is advertised has a tagline. Find your tagline, and you can change it. You
Have
can
a
change
smile
it.
and a Coke.
See?
Nike,
now I need,
just do it.
Now I need to go get a Coke.
She needs to go run, get a Coke.
Yeah. Florida. Paradise Found.
And that's what marketing is. You create your own little tagline for your books. I mean, I've turned all of my book titles into a hashtag and use them all the time. I'm close to 1,000 iterations on a couple of them.
There you go.
So I've been doing my job. But you also, one thing that I've been doing is I use Canva to create my posts on my Facebook pages and all my other social media. And I schedule it, but if you ever see my stuff, you might go, well, that looks familiar, because they have my email address and my logo on each one. Now, everybody doesn't need a logo, but everybody doesn't not need a logo too.
Well, people wouldn't know me if they didn't see skulls.
Yeah,
They'll go, who are you?
I'm the skull lady.
Exactly.
In fact, my hair, you notice it's a
It's
different
purple,
color.
yeah,
It's
it's
purple
purple.
because I wanted to do something funky and different. Just felt like doing something different. First thing my husband said when he came home from work was, but you're supposed to be the blue-haired lady. And I know people introduce me to their friends as the lady with the blue hair, or they'll say, you know, I've been to big events, and people go, she's over there.
Over there.
She's the tall one with the blue hair. I'm like, okay, well, they're making rhymes now. But, you know, it's what you become known for.
And you have to be comfortable enough within yourself to embrace the oddity
Yes.
that is within you. Because we all have oddities.
And nobody has to run out and dye their hair purple,
No.
green, blue, or orange. And everybody doesn't have to run out and change all of their wardrobe to skulls. I think she's got skulls on her pants.
Yeah, and I wear black all the time.
She's-
and my boots.
But it's okay. It's what makes her her. And everybody's going to be different. That's one of the reasons I wanted us to all, the authors, to connect with each other. And I'm still trying to find everybody's Amazon page and follow them. Don't have everybody yet. But Jason was real quick to jump on when Yvonne and I talked about this last week. Let's follow each other. So he and I are now following each other and talking and carrying on conversations. And I think he asked me a question. I left him hanging because I was just too busy to answer him. And that's okay. Don't feel like you have to respond to someone, except for Yvonne or me, right away. You know, you answer when you have time. But if you're writing, make yourself a little auto response that says, I'm busy writing the next great American novel or whatever it happens to be. Come on over here, Hope. We want to introduce you.
We want to introduce you to our
You
wonderful,
look
wonderful.
fine.
Now, let me tell you what. I am from Georgia. Hope is from Georgia. We figured this out when we sat down and this girl started talking. You can take the girl out of Georgia, but you'll never take Georgia out of the girl. Am I right?
That's right.
So come on over here. We're
Come
going to
over here.
introduce
Get between
you.
us.
Yeah, get between us. This is Hope.
Hi.
She is from Georgia, and right now she's melting because she doesn't understand Florida humidity. And Florida, there's one or two schools that thought you either love it or you hate it. If you get through the first summer, you're good. But when you come to Hiram, Captain Hiram's Bluefins on the water, and Sebastian on US 1, ask for her. Ask for
Y'all come
Hope.
see me.
And tip her well.
And tip her
Yes.
well. Tip her well. Thank you, baby.
Thank you.
Marketing. We
She
just did
will
marketing.
never forget us.
No, and that was marketing because they graciously allowed us to do this. So why not reciprocate?
Yeah. If you believe in not bookmarks. Bookmarks would work. Business cards. Take some with you everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
Leave one on the table when you eat out. Maybe they're not going to buy a book, but the business cards don't cost that much, and it sticks in their head. They see you later, and then they go, "Have we met?"
Exactly.
So that's what you want. You want that "have we met" thing going on with people, so that when they hear your name or they see your book, and this is a book by Joe Schmo. Joe Schmo was in my restaurant the other day.
Speaking of, I did a book signing over in Sarasota years ago when I first started. Now, one of my favorite authors, because he does not write the same thing over and over, was James Swain. He hasn't put anything new out in a long time. But he happened to be at that same book signing. It's just me and him. He graciously took his picture with me, and I used that for years. Same thing with Tim Dorsey. I know y'all know Tim Dorsey. He wrote the serial killer Surge, who was a hoot. He has since died, but he was in Melbourne, and he took his picture with me.
A lot of people, regular Joes, just regular Janes and whatnot, they love to meet authors.
Yes,
Because
they do.
not everybody can write a book, and they know it. In fact, I sold my first novel in Australia, and she said, "I'm a reader, I am not a writer. When are you going to write your next book?"
There you go.
But whenever you have a chance to go to see someone in person and sell your book or give your book away for whatever reason, get a picture.
Always
Get a
picture.
photograph of you holding your book or whatever is something, the props are always good, but with this other person, if they're buying your book, have them hold the book and you get in it. To them, that's a big deal, to be with the author who wrote and signed their book. And yeah, maybe you're not on the world's bestseller list today.
But you've made somebody's day.
You've made somebody's day, and one day when you do start making the big bucks and selling books everywhere, these people who knew you when will come back, and they'll remember your kindness and how you made them feel special when they bought your book and you were, I don't want to say a nobody, but you were an unknown.
And that segues into a story. One of my drag queens, Penelope, a.k.a. Peter, he loves reading true crime. And the first true crime that I released was Silent Scream, which happened down in St. Lucie County. Well, he bought that book. He didn't know me from Adam's house cat, but he bought that book, and he sent me an email and said, my name is Peter Fundura, and I bought Silent Scream, and I just want to let you know how much I enjoy it, yada, yada, yada. As soon as I got that email, I immediately responded, and he sent me an email back. He said, I'm gobsmacked, basically. I've never
Never
ever,
expected the author to write me.
He says, I've written authors before and never got a response. Well-known authors. Come to find out, his brother lived on my street further down Floresta.
No way.
That's how we became friends.
Okay.
Because he would come to my house. And one of the stories that happened, that he tells in the Pink Canary, really happened because he and 12 of his buddies did it. And it's a hoot. So you don't ever know what an impact you will leave on someone when they say, may I have your autograph, or will you sign this book for me, or can I take my picture with you, or an email or text. I really enjoyed your answer them in the affirmative, always.
Even if you think they might be up to trying to sell you something, unless they come out right off the bat with the big guns, hi, I'm here, I can help you with your book, those you can probably ignore. But sometimes people will send you an email and it's kind of like a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you don't need their services, you can still be nice.
Yeah.
You can still be kind. And next thing you know, they might come in and say, I'd like to do this for you for free.
The one email that I almost didn't answer was my first television interview
Oh,
out of France.
oh,
And I almost didn't answer that email.
because you thought it was too
I
good
thought
to
it
be
was
true.
too good to be true. Since then, I've been on television 8 times all around the world. And I'm not saying that in a bragging manner, but I'm just reiterating what Mary said. Answer with an affirmative, because you don't ever know where that fork in your writing journey will take you. And with that, I think we're going to close this week's session
Yeah.
of marketing and how to do it. And I don't know what we'll talk about next Wednesday. What are we going to talk about next Wednesday? She'll have to go back on the email. And
I
look.
can't remember what's on our list, but I mean, we can talk about
Anything.
I would love for our viewers to email us with some suggestions.
There you go.
Or a question. You know, if you want to know how do you do something.
Or if you're even just unsure of your journey.
Yeah, if you think you might want to be a writer, but you don't think you've got a story. Oh,
Oh, we all have stories.
that is one of the things that I am really good at, is helping people uncover their stories.
Yeah.
And that's why people call me the book midwife.
And you don't know that your journey in your life might not help another person. Just remember that. We all have experiences, both good and not so good in our lives.
Yeah.
That when we embrace that event in our life and just use it as a learning experience and not a kitchen post, we can share it with others and they know they're not alone. So think about that. So with that in mind, I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, and over here is your other host, Miss Mary Brotherton, my friend and author. And we will see you all next Wednesday,
Next Wednesday.
at 11 o'clock instead of 12. We did 12 o'clock because we were here at this beautiful restaurant having lunch. And remember, if you are in Sebastian, Florida, come to Captain Hiram's Bluefin Restaurant and ask for hope.
Yes.
And with
You
that,
won't regret it.
You will not. Their food is fantastic. So with that in mind, we will say adieu.
Ta-ta.
See you next week.